Okay, it's August 12th, 2024, 6 p.m. We're on the second floor of City Hall for the City of Rhinelander Common Council meeting. Agenda's been posted, media has been notified. Clerk, please take the roll call.
David Holt.
Here.
Stephen Jopek.
Here.
Luke Kramer.
Here.
Carrie Michalowski.
Here.
Gerald Anderson. I guess he didn't say here. All right. Thomas Barnett.
Here.
Bob Luter.
Here.
Leanne Felton.
Here.
Chris Hannes.
Here, we do have quorum. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, moving on to number 4, which is public comment. I have a Matt Campbell. Yep, and if you could just turn your mic on or turn red.
There we go. All right. Good evening, Council. My name is Matt Campbell. I am a resident of the Hodag Park neighborhood, and as you can see, tonight I represent a group of people here and some that were not able to be present because we wanted to come and just kind of let you know that we'd like to open a dialogue about the Messer Street area reconstruction project. There are many things that we've liked from what we've learned so far about the project. We, appreciate the utilities being redone, the curbs being redone. However, we do have reservations specifically surrounding the sidewalk and all of that entails with what might happen should they go in. So at this time, again, right now, what we wanted to do is make sure that you know that we're aware of the project, know that we would like to open a dialogue with you. We plan on attending the meeting on Wednesday this week with the engineer and the mayor and whoever else will be attending, just so we can learn more about the project, see the details, and then I would like to ask right now to be put on the meeting. I don't know if that's acceptable. The agenda for next week's, or 2 weeks from now's meeting, after we've had time to look at the details of the plan, discuss it with each other, with our spouses, and then come back and open that dialogue with you again at the following meeting. In addition, I would like to present a petition that I have that we've had many people working on that basically states similar things to what I just stated today. I could read it if you would like me to. But in addition to this, we have a few other sheets that have not been returned, so there are more signatures to gather that I will present to you 2 weeks from today. So that's all I have for this evening. Let me double check my notes to make sure. Did I miss anything? Okay, that's all I would like to say tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Was there anyone else? Oh.
Is there somebody that I should bring this copy of this petition to? Okay, thank you.
Be the city clerk. Was there anyone else for public comment for tonight? Okay, did any of the alders have any public comment? Okay, not seeing. Moving on to number 5, which is mayor's comments. The only comment I have is we have a public hearing listening session for the Messer Street project this Wednesday at 6 p.m. Moving on to number 6, public hearings, none apply for this meeting. Moving on to number 7, which is presentations for infrastructure. We have Mark Barden from Town and Country.
Thank you, Mayor. The Oneida project, intersection of Lincoln and Oneida. You see those lights are down right now. Contractor's putting up the new signal lights and the control panel, and that should be up and running by the end of the day Wednesday, we hope. They'll be pouring the new pad for the new control panel location, and then we'll be up and running with that, and the cameras will be installed on those signal lights as well. Other than that, we're working on punch list items. There's some grass restoration. There's some asphalt repair that we need to do at the intersection of Oneida and Lincoln. That should be happening shortly. And a couple other punch list items. The Grant Street adder to that project started last week with removals on Grant Street, traffic control and erosion control. They started laying pipe today. Started working on water main. They should have water main done this week. Start on sanitary sewer and They should have that wrapped up next week, and they'll be working on storm sewer and building road. I would anticipate by the end of September, Grant Street will be done, and at that point, we would do a final walkthrough on the Oneida project, including Grant Street, and get a final punch list item together for any outstanding items. And we should be set for final payment on that this fall yet. Any questions on Oneida? Timber Drive project, you see they did the asphalt patching on there around the manholes and the valve boxes. There's one area that they did not get, and that's at the Iverson intersection. They'll be patching that in when they do the surface course of asphalt, which was scheduled for next week. They may be in this week to do that. And getting the bike path in order. There's a bunch of grass restoration to do out there as well. Most of that is utility companies, not Musson. But we've been working with the utilities to get that taken care of, so hopefully we can get all Timber Drive shaped up. There is some sanitary sewer repairs to be done. All that is going to be done without ripping up the road, so we can do all that internally in the manholes. That would be at the manhole at the intersection of Timber and Timber Heights. So that'll get wrapped up in the next couple of weeks, and we should be wrapping that project up soon. Any questions on Timber? Pelican Street Milling Project, contractors looking at starting that. We just got contracts signed to them in the next couple of weeks. They'll be out there milling that. That'll be a quick turnaround. They had anticipated milling and then paving a week after that, but we're looking at pushing the milling back to have it coincide a little more closely with the paving operation. Milling would take about a day. The paving would take a couple days after that. We may be adjusting some manholes in there as well. So I'll be working on that in the next couple of weeks. That would be wrapped up by the end of August. And then the lift station projects, those are all rolling. We're waiting on equipment. We anticipate those to be starting in the spring, unless there's a miracle and we get equipment this year, which is not looking like it's the case. So. And like Matt discussed, we have a meeting on Wednesday. I think it'll be a lively discussion. So hopefully we can get some valuable information out to the residents on that project.
Any questions for Mark? Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Moving on to number 8, proclamations, none apply for this meeting. Moving on to number 9, which is a consent agenda. A, bills and claims for over $2 million. B, meeting minutes from July 22nd. C, meeting minutes from July 30th. D, meeting minutes from the planning, regular plan commission from May 7th. E, the budget timeline, and F would be the monthly reports.
Barnett, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Michalowski, second.
Motion second, any discussion? Mr. Jopek?
Still familiarizing myself with the consent agenda. Are we able to just leave a note of comment about one of the issues to raise for a future issue, not vote on it or like amend anything, just raise awareness of it that was within the list? Like, for instance, the planning commission has notes in there. Would we be able to just leave a comment about those notes just so that the body's aware for future reference? I want to make sure I'm not violating the rules.
So what you're doing is the consent agenda, if somebody moves to approve it, you really have to vote to approve it or not approve it. You can certainly debate whether you should approve it or not by saying, I think there's something in item 17 I'd like to have pulled off. Then you'd pull that off and the rest of it would be voted on. You certainly can discuss items under future agenda items. So if there's something in the plan commission, when we get to that point of the meeting, saying, I noted in the planning commission's minutes, there was such and such, and I'd like to discuss this at a future meeting. That would be the proper place to discuss something of that nature.
Perfect, thank you.
Any other discussion on the motion on the floor? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Carrie Michalowski.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to 10, which is ordinances, first and/or second reading, depending on what you guys do. 10A, introduction of first reading of proposed ordinance number 2024-5. This is amending official zoning map of the city of Rhinelander. I will defer to our city administrator.
Sure, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, so this is to change the zoning map from, I believe this is the RH 329-2, which I believe is the Oneida County. They're looking to change a parcel from B2 to institutional. Planning Commission has already looked at this and recommends that it be passed.
So it'll be up to council if we want to waive the second reading on this or not.
I'll make a motion to approve proposed resolution 2024 dash 5, or I'm sorry, proposed ordinance number 2024-5, an ordinance amending the official zoning map of the city of Rhinelander and waiving the second reading.
Chopek, second.
Motion second. Any discussion on the motion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Carrie Mikulowski.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson.
Aye.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye. Motion passes. 10B, introduction of first and/or second reading of proposed ordinance number 2024-6, which is changing official zoning map. I refer to Patrick again.
Again, it's for Oneida County. It's rezoning the parcel in question from R2 to institutional. Again, the Plan Commission did recommend at their last meeting that this be passed.
Mr. Holt.
I will make a motion to approve proposed ordinance number 2024-6, an ordinance amending the official zoning map of the city of Rhinelander and waiving the second reading.
Kramer, second.
Motion second. Any discussion on the motion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Gerald Anderson.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Carrie Mikulowski.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to 11, unfinished business. None apply for this meeting. Moving on to 12, new business. 12A, discuss and/or action proposed resolution 2024-101. This is for appointment of City of Rhinelander election inspectors. Refer to our city clerk.
I would like to just make a note that the two new applicants on here are Gina and Moira. Luke, Terrence, and Linda were previously approved back in May, but since we haven't had an election since then, I never updated the template, so that's my mistake.
Jopek moved to approve resolution number 2024-101, the appointment of City of Rhinelander election inspectors.
Barnett, second, and you're forgiven.
Okay, motion second. Any discussion on the motion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson.
Aye.
Carrie Mikulowski.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to 12B, discuss and/or action proposed resolution 2024-102. This is approved by the Planning Commission for a certified survey map for Settlers Village. Refer to the city administrator.
You pretty much hit it on the nose, Mayor. It's a certified survey map for Settlers Village that was approved by Planning Commission to recommend to you to approve it overall.
Kramer, I'll make a motion to approve proposed resolution 2024-102, approving the recommendation from the Plan Commission to approve the certified survey map for Settlers Village.
Hold second.
Motion second. Any discussion on the motion? Mr. Jopek.
In the Planning Commission notes, this is one part where that was in there, it kind of mentioned a conversation with the city attorney about the agreement with the whatever the company is, not Settlers Village. This doesn't apply to that at all. We're just approving a survey map, because there was something in the comments that you said the agreement needed to be amended, and you just want to clarify that, so I'm just making sure we're not.
Yeah, we couldn't be voting on this tonight if we hadn't agreed to amend at last month's meeting the agreement. So once we agree to amend the agreement, now we can vote on it. Otherwise, they couldn't have separated. So yes, if you read it, until we had done that, we couldn't vote to approve the certified survey map. But now that we did agree to amend the agreement, we can now approve the certified survey map.
Awesome, thank you.
Any other discussion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Carrie Mikulowski.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to 12C, discuss and/or action proposed resolution 2024-103. This is pay application number 11 to Mussins Brothers for $244,000 for the Oneida Utility Project. Assuming this is just paying for work that's been completed?
That's correct.
Any changes or anything, or just?
There are no change orders in this pay request, no.
Oh.
Well, in that case, Barnett, I make a motion to approve Resolution 2024-103, approving the application of payment number 11 for Musson Brothers, Inc. for work completed on the 2023 Oneida Avenue Area Utility and Street Improvement Project in the amount of $244,000, $755.51.
Jopek, second.
Motion second. Any discussion on the motion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
David Holt.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Carrie Mikulowski.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson.
Aye.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to 12D, discuss and/or action proposed resolution 2024-104. This is a pay application number 8 to Mussins Brothers for the Timber Drive Utility Project for $169,000.
The only thing I'd like to point out on this, Mayor, this is just for concrete work and work that was done this spring, but council may notice that the actual work completed, the dollar amount is just over $79,000, and the pay request is for $169,000. That's due to the fact that we reduced retainage from 5% to 2.5% per the contract on this pay request, which adds another $94,000 into the requested amount.
What was the purpose of reducing retainage?
Per the contract. Once they hit 50% of
Completion.
the contract completion, it gets reduced to 2.5%.
Okay.
Jopek moved to approve resolution number 2024-104, approving pay application number 8 from Musson Brothers Incorporated for work completed on the 2023 Timber Drive Street and Utility Project in the amount of $169,962.51.
Kramer, second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion on the motion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Carrie Mikulowski.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to 12E, discuss and/or action proposed resolution 2024-105. This is recommendation from the Planning Commission for a certified survey map. Patrick?
Thank you. This basically joins RH 329-2 with RH 9106, 1309 and 1313. Basically, it's been approved to recommend to you by the Plan Commission that this be passed.
These are the two lots on Courtney
Yes,
Street, right?
314 Courtney.
So,
Barnett, I make a motion to approve Resolution 2024-105, approving the recommendation from the Plan Commission to approve the certified survey map CSM for Oneida County.
Called second.
motion second. Any discussion on the motion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Carrie Mikulowski.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson.
Aye.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to 12F, discuss and/or action proposed resolution 2024-106. This is regarding the annual citywide deer hunt for 2024-25. Chief of Police, Mr. Guthier.
This has been a very successful program for quite a number of years now, and I can attest that last week one of my squads took a car deer accident in the side. So we still have abundance of deer in the community. Last year, we harvested about around 20 of them. So again, it would run during the bow season that's established by the Wisconsin DNR, except for it within the city of Rhinelander. The only date that you wouldn't be able to hunt would be on Halloween, just because of the number of kids that we have out. Other than that, it runs during mid-September till January 5th of 2025. And for any other reason, if something were to come up, either the mayor or I have the ability to stop the hunt if something were to come up. But it's very successful, and I would again recommend that we get involved with the program with the DNR.
Barnett, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2024-106, approving the annual city deer hunt for 2024-25 season.
Michalowski, second.
Motion second. Any discussion on the motion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Gerald Anderson,
Aye.
Stephen Jopek,
Aye.
Luke Kramer,
Aye.
Carrie Michalowski,
Aye.
Bob Luter,
Aye.
Thomas Barnett,
Aye.
David Holt,
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to 12G, discuss and/or action proposed resolution 2024-107. So this would be signing a grant agreement. So if you guys remember, we applied through the hard work of our city forester and a tree committee for a urban tree grant. We did get awarded $182,000. So this was that grant that had a removal of dead trees, planting new trees, and building a community orchard. So that's something we've been awarded, and we're just looking for you to allow us to accept it. So
Barnett, I make a motion to approve Resolution 2024-107, approving, authorizing, and directing the city administrator to sign a grant agreement documents for a Wisconsin DNR Urban Forestry Inflation Reduction Act grant. 100,000, that's a lot of trees.
Kramer, second.
motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Leanne Felton,
Aye.
Bob Luter,
Aye.
Luke Kramer,
Aye.
Thomas Barnett,
Aye.
Gerald Anderson,
Aye.
Carrie Michalowski,
Aye.
Stephen Jopek,
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to 12H, discuss and/or action proposed resolution 2024-108. These are, looks like, for some liquor licenses. I refer to our city clerk.
So those of you who remember, we did just update this one. This is the site of the current Wagner station up next to Menards. It looks like a new management company called True North Energy LLC is purchasing it. My office did not send that to the fire department inspections yet, so it has not been inspected under this new ownership, though we are expecting nothing much of change other than an ownership company, but it does need to be inspected by the fire department and inspections. So I would recommend approving this license pending successful inspection by the fire department and inspections. So once they do so, then I will then issue the license.
Michalowski, I'll make a motion to approve proposed resolution 2024-108, approving the application from True North Energy LLC for a CAC Class A beer and liquor license upon recommendation from the fire inspection.
Hold second.
Motion second. Any discussion on the motion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Luke Kramer,
Aye.
David Holt,
Aye.
Bob Luter,
Aye.
Stephen Jopek,
Aye.
Thomas Barnett,
Aye.
Gerald Anderson,
Aye.
Leanne Felton,
Aye.
Carrie Michalowski.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to 12I, discuss and/or action proposed resolution 2024-109. This is a fee waiver for Hodag Park for Light Up the Night recovery. I refer to our city clerk.
This is just a fee waiver request from the United County Substance Use Coalition for their event, Light Up the Night for Recovery. You do know that it was approved last year, but they are now asking for the larger band shelter. So the event did change. That's why it's coming back to council.
Mr. Jopek?
That I saw there, beyond that, there was no like change in staffing requirements or anything like that, though. It was just the band show.
Correct.
Okay. Jopek moved to approve resolution number 2024-109, approving a fee waiver request from the Oneida County Substance Use Coalition for their September 12, 2024 Light Up the Night for Recovery event at Hodag Park.
Michalowski, second.
Motion second. Any discussion on the motion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
David Holt,
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Carrie Mikulowski.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson.
Aye.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Bob Luder.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to 12J, discuss and/or action commercial truck traffic on Davenport Street. This is something our chief of police and Alderman Barnett's been in discussions, so I'll turn it over to you first, Tom.
I had a constituent reach out to me about the truck traffic on Davenport Street, and I said that I would get in touch with Lloyd and see what he had to say, and apparently there was actually some history with this, and I asked him to come to council and explain the history to us and what we can do to fix what we got going on there on Davenport Street with the truck traffic.
Yeah, this issue probably came up 7 or 8 years ago when I first became chief. I got a call from a resident on Davenport Street really concerned about the heavy semi-traffic to and from the paper mill utilizing Davenport Street to Maple Street to Phillip Street. At that time I went over, I spoke with the mill's receiving yard and just suggested that they have their trucks use River Street. They said they would do what they did. And then so the amount of traffic comes and goes depending on if they're using Google, it's going to take them the shortest route possible. But during my time, I looked at the signs. There's signs posted at River Street and 47 and at Davenport and 47 saying no through truck traffic, only local deliveries, no trucks over 10,000 pounds or 5 ton. So it certainly, in looking at, we have an ordinance that covers truck routes. It says that there should be a map in the city clerk's office if we do have a truck route. I don't think we have a truck route, and it's up to the council to determine if there should be a truck route. I think if you look at, again, as I look at things when it came to where do we place the radar signs that are going up here, hopefully this month from the street department. You look at the difference between, as we talk about the ATV usage, comparing Stevens Street to Lincoln Street. Look at River Street compared to Davenport Street. Visibility is a huge factor when you compare the two streets. Davenport is windy, very residential, no sidewalks, curves, and a hill. You already have truck traffic going into Argonne Lumber, and then, but there's a large amount of, the one day the lady said she counted 50 trucks. I've never sat and counted for a whole day, so I'm not sure if that's a high number or a low number, but there's certainly truck traffic during that route. The River Street, there are some sidewalks on parts of River Street. It's much wider. It certainly is more straighter. Even though there's a hill, you have better viewing when you are traveling on River Street. To me, it just makes sense that if we're going to work on making, and we've had people come in at the podium here, Ben Meyer's been a big proponent of making Davenport walkable, more safety. One of the things you could do is remove that truck traffic that's not required to be on that road. River Street is a much easier street. It's in a better condition compared to Davenport Street. The other thing that I have not had a chance to talk to is Justin Ernst, our Public Works foreman, to decide, to hear from him what he thinks the 80,000 pound truck traffic is doing to Davenport Street compared to River Street. So it would be my recommendation that we would seriously look at establishing an official truck route, ending truck traffic at Argonne Lumber, and no truck traffic beyond Argonne Lumber. All semi-traffic would utilize the River Street to Maple to Phillip Street.
I got a question for you, Chief. Is it possible to work, because Davenport Street, we stopped officially owning right at the power lines there just before Argonne Lumber from a city point of view. And River Street is a similar scenario where I think it's joint owned between Newbold and Crescent up until roughly the power lines again. Yeah. Is that something where could we post at the bypass with support of Crescent and Newbold? Especially on Davenport, limited truck traffic even to get them in there. Because one of the fears some have is trucks will go to Argonne and then how do they turn around to get out, kind of a thing.
It's already posted at River Street and Highway 47. When you turn on to River Street, there's two signs right there indicating no through truck traffic, the weight restriction by our city ordinance. We have no signage within the city limits. They're outside the city in the town of Crescent. Both of them are. There's also one at Davenport and 47 that says the same thing. It would take a lot of publicity and some signage that I would think you would have to put actually on 47 as they're coming out of the roundabout. The only other access points are Phillip Street over the Phillip Street Dam. I don't think that's a really good, safe option. And then obviously we've known through the history of our community, there's been several times where there have been semi-truck traffic stuck under the railroad bridge on East Davenport. So that's not an option. So the only options they have are Davenport to the west and River Street. I'm just thinking that it's safer to utilize River Street.
Mr. Jopek?
So you mentioned that it was posted and that it's been like the weight limit and those kind of things, no through traffic. And it doesn't seem that, like you said, the Google Maps or whatever might take a driver over Davenport anyways. Is this something like once we establish a truck route and have it formally put into the clerk's office and making sure that it's there, is that something we communicate to the mill to make sure, like, communicate this to all delivering drivers? Or beyond signage, is because, if signage currently isn't necessarily, maybe it is delaying some people, or stopping them from doing this, what can we do beyond signage to make sure that drivers are abiding by that? Because enforcing that for our police department will be difficult. I mean, we can't post a police officer there on that road all day to enforce it. So
I would do it just as we've done, like when we've made the radar speed limit change on Timber Drive. I personally sat out there and made some traffic stops informing the people. I would go to the paper mill with the new ordinance change with the truck route. I would sit there when available to make those stops and to inform the drivers. And then it would be just education. Once they turn, they're pretty much committed. You're not going to get even those pulling. It's a task for those drivers to get into Argonne Lumber as it is. It's not really the safest because if you're going westbound on Davenport, you're coming around the curve and right there's Argonne Lumber, and those semis use both lanes to gain access to their yard. So it is definitely, if you're not doing 25, that corner is going to come up with you if there's a truck in the road. So it'd be education.
Mr. Holt?
Yeah, I live on Hillendale, which connects to Davenport, but also via Pelican the other direction. And so I am typically driving, and I've been there 7 years, a little over 7 years, and I typically drive to work through town, going through that intersection of Davenport and Maple. I would say at least 2 to 3 times a year. In the winter, not this past winter, there is an 18-wheeler jackknifed and stuck. And so I definitely understand. I mean, Davenport's treacherous between Maple Street and 47. But one other consideration with regard to what drivers might be thinking with regard to continuing straight down Davenport versus trying to make that turn either onto Maple or off of Maple in the winter. Again, that's a treacherous turn in the winter, even for a light vehicle.
Mr. Barnett?
I think it's a valid request to look into and possibly take action on. And then in the discussions that I had with Patrick, he informed me that we kind of sort of have a official truck route through the city, but that hadn't been updated since, I believe, you said 93 or something like that? Or
93 is when the ordinance was passed.
Right, and that was before the bypass and all that went in. So when the bypass went in, there should have been a new truck route established. So I think we should also add the discussion of a official truck route that actually works for the city, because I think it would also alleviate a lot of our residential road construction issues as well. I was going to make a motion, but if Carrie wanted to say something before I did that.
So I live right off of River Street, and I'm just wondering, I mean, the comparison of the amount of people that live on River Street compared to the people that live on Davenport Street is remarkably different. I mean, there's a lot more on River Street. And I know there's a bunch of kids that live on River Street because I see them all the time. And oftentimes you'll get balls that cross into River Street and whatnot, again, witnessed by me. So I'm concerned that although it may be straighter, it's more heavily populated. So I don't know if that was taken into consideration when you were making your recommendation.
It was, you just have better visibility. If you compare the width of the street and the visibility, the houses that are on the north side of River Street are closer to the curb but all on Davenport is really tight, and you don't have great visibility, and there's no sidewalks, or at least on a lot of the southern part of River Street, you have sidewalks. And every driver, whether you're driving a commercial motor vehicle or a car, you have to drive with due regard because there's kids everywhere, especially this time of year. So it's concerning, yes, but when you look at the two, I much rather have those larger vehicles on River Street where I think it's made for more traffic, and it's definitely better visibility when you're looking at kids darting out into the road. I mean, the one car accident that we've had recently where the vehicle struck a pedestrian was a child that darted out on the road on Stevens Street at Harvey, a big curve right there. So, yeah, I'd hate to see any type of accidents, but I think they're less likely on River than they would be on Davenport.
Mr. Kramer?
I see both sides. I mean, River Street is great, it's straight. I do think that unless you guys are enforcing it, they're going to go a little faster because it is straighter. Davenport, that hill is terrible where it meets Maple. But as anybody that knows it has driven underneath the railroad tracks, at a certain time of day, there's always that one tanker that backs up right behind there. Is that something that the mill is going to have a huge fit about?
No.
That they can't get that tanker in there?
Even if you have a designated truck route, trucks can deviate from that truck route to do their deliveries. Deliveries can go wherever they need to go. They just need to use the most direct route. So for that tanker truck, it would make sense for them to come up, continue on, as they come out on River, continue on Maple to Davenport Street and then go down that way. I've sat there just last week behind them, and it must have been a newer driver because it really took them some time to get into the alley there. You know, that's a tough location, and that's about the only location they really get on that side of the mill. Most of it's always deviated to the back of the receiving yard off of Phillips Street. But certainly, that's just my recommendation. The 8 of you have the right to decide where you want that traffic. It just seems to me that this issue keeps popping up every couple of years, and there's some residents that are really frustrated over on Davenport Street.
Mr. Barnett?
Yeah, so Patrick had just mentioned something about Google Maps. What?
Yeah, there's various, not only do you have Google Maps and things like that should be updated that we should look at, seeing how we go about that, but the last community I was in, we had a similar discussion go on, and apparently long-haul truckers use a different app as well for this. So I think when we're looking at education, that's probably going to be one of the primary ones we can look at, is how do we update those? Because you get a lot of new drivers that are coming in, maybe have never been to Rhinelander, and that's going to be more vital than a sign, which will blend in with every other sign and every other street and every other tree and every other house.
Yeah, because they're going to follow the truck route truck route that
GPS
okay.
in their vehicle.
Well, I'd like to make a motion that directs Patrick Lloyd and Justin to get together by the next meeting and come up with suggestions and some options for us to start looking at if we're going to take action on this. So that'd be my motion.
Would that be just for this particular thing or the city as a whole for truck routes?
I'd like the city as a whole for truck routes, but I also want to be realistic if that's a big to-do. But I'd like to get this discussion at least started by looking into some options. And if you guys can get together some citywide truck route stuff for us to consider, that'd be great too.
I'll second that with a clarification that let's specifically start with this one, and come back with, and then the next step would be more citywide.
Correct.
So we have a motion and a second by Mr. Holt. Any other discussion? Looks like Mr. Holt does.
Yeah, one thing, it is something that Lloyd pointed out, but I wanted to revisit it because it stuck in my mind as I was listening to him, which is the quality of the road itself. That both Maple Street.
She's going to take over along with Jess. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were on the phone. Oh, we'll combine later. Okay.
Continue, Mr. Holt.
Thank you. Looking at the quality of the street itself in terms of its construction, the curbing, the sidewalks, it is definitely a street that's more capable, I think. No offense to Davenport's ego, but more capable of handling that kind of traffic, I think. Davenport has very low shoulders. It's got, it's definitely got its challenges. So, thanks.
Was there any other discussion on the motion? Nope. Yep. Mariah, I don't know if you could unmute him.
Okay, now?
Yes, we could hear you.
Yeah. I'm assuming that one of our new speed sign, speed limit signs will be out at the entrance to the city on River Street. I would like to see more enforcement on River Street, even if it means that I get cited, because it is really easy not to lower your speed enough. And I think we need some enforcement for a while to just get people straightened out on how slow they have to go over there.
I think you got all that, Chief, right? Okay. So, okay, was there any other discussion on the motion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Gerald Anderson,
Aye.
Stephen Jopek,
Aye.
Luke Kramer,
Aye.
Kerry Mikulowski,
Aye.
Bob Luder,
Aye.
Thomas Barnett,
Aye.
David Holt,
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Motion passes. Was there any other motions on this topic? Not seeing. Okay, moving into 13, closed session. Would someone like to take us into closed session?
Joe Peck moved to go to closed session, moving to closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute 19.85, authorizes a closed session for conferring with legal counsel for the governmental body who is rendering oral or written advice concerning strategy to be adopted by the body with respect to litigation in which it is or is likely to become involved. Discussion shall involve recommendation of tax assessment challenge by property owner of tax parcel RH 91040915.
Kramer, second.
Motion second. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Thomas Barnett,
Aye.
Leanne Felton,
Aye.
Kerry Mikulowski,
Aye.
Bob Luder,
Aye.
Gerald Anderson,
Abstain.
David Holt,
Aye.
Luke Kramer,
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Motion passes at 6:44, and we'll be going into closed session. 7:08, we are out of closed session, back to open session. Anything, Mr. Holt?
I'll make a motion to approve settlement with Lincoln Plaza.
Tripek, second.
We have a motion second. Any discussion? Yes, Joe Peck second. Okay, not seeing any discussion. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Bob Luder.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson. Oh, Carrie McLowski.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
7 out of 8. So my only comment on this topic is I will not be vetoing this, but I do think anytime an entity like Walmart thinks they should pay less in taxes, it's not right for the community, and we should have a stronger arm of making them pay their fair share. But I will not stand in the way of the council and/or veto. So with that, the motion passes for the development agreement assessment. Future agenda items, number 15. Anything anyone would like to add? Mr. Jopek?
I kind of alluded to this earlier, but in looking at the planning commission meeting minutes, and there's, for the last couple months, there's been a lot of talk about conditional use permits, and I know Brandon Carrabba had been forward probably 2 months ago now, just kind of raising concerns about our policy. I know there's some fact-finding going on, or hopefully going on, and I do think we need to keep that at the forefront and be talking about it. Just doing a lot of research on Airbnb, that kind of VRBO, whatever the companies may be, and the impact on housing availability, the housing market, those kind of things. I think that's a conversation that we do need to keep at the forefront as a city council to be prepared, being that we're a growing community. And that we have businesses coming in, and those businesses need workers, and those workers have nowhere to live. And so we're working through housing, but I do think we need to talk about the impact of conditional use permits and how, not to limit them necessarily, but just to make sure we're on top of it and proactive. A lot of communities are doing it, cities and even small scale, and I think it'd be wise for us to discuss that and continue to keep it on our radar. So
I would note that the zoning administrator, our planning director, and I have been talking about we've been collecting different ordinances from different cities and trying to put together a program so that it is on the top burner and it is being discussed, and it will be presented as a separate topic at a plan commission meeting that certainly all council members can attend, so that when it comes to the council as probably an ordinance amendment, you're prepared. So that one definitely is up on top.
Perfect, thank you.
So just to be clear, are you asking this to be on the next meeting, or are you just asking it to be a line item for people don't forget?
Kind of a line item, future agenda items, just to keep it at the forefront of our minds, so that when it does approach, we're informed and beyond just what is presented. Like, we're just ready to deal with it, I guess.
Mr. Barnett?
I answered myself.
Okay. Anything else for future agenda items? Okay, not seeing. Next regular council meeting will be August 26th at 6 p.m. here at City Hall. It is 7:12, meeting adjourned.